Okay, just waiting for this thing to start up.
Oh my god.
Just waiting for it to start up. Not just send everyone the link.
You're sending. Wait, how can you send a link to everyone? He's just a video game character.
Shut up! What's going on, guys? As mentioned earlier, this is, if you can't see him, hang on. Let me open up OBS again.
I'm here. I don't know. I mean, go put the camera. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is the guy that is helping me out. So yeah, and I put you on camera. Deal with it.
You dick.
Deal with it.
Yeah. I don't want them knowing my identity.
Hang on. Here, just sit on the couch. Just sit. Here, just.
Then they'll know who I am.
Dude.
What?
You're not a superhero.
You never know.
Shut up.
I could be.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay.
No,
anyway.
all my enemies will know who I am. Now they'll know who to target to crush me. Thanks a lot. You basically destroyed me. Hope you're happy.
Oh, greatly. But anyway, guys. So this particular stream, we decided.
Titties.
Oh yeah, this is also gonna be uncut because it's like 10 at night. Yeah. So this particular stream, we decided. Well, more or less, I decided. I just spring it on him at the last second.
Yeah. Tell the guy first.
But this particular stream, I decided to basically review both a console and a game at the same exact time. I don't know how.
Gross.
I don't know how successful it's gonna be, but
And a friend. Okay, couldn't put my name in there.
Hey, I didn't want to give your identity away.
Oh, you're giving it away now.
I know. I'm a great buddy, aren't I, buddy?
No, you're not. You are a terrible human being. I don't know how you can sleep at night.
To be honest, I can sleep pretty soundly, knowing that I made your day a living hell. But anyway, so the game that well, first of all, I guess I should talk about the console first. Okay, which one is which? We've got both of them here actually. I don't know which one.
That one's yours.
What, this one?
No, that one.
This one? Okay. Okay, so
Butt munch.
this is actually a the console that we're reviewing is. Oops, my bad. Let me close it down again.
Dummy.
Is this the Switch? We talked about this earlier. We don't want to say the company's name. So we're just
what happens.
we're just gonna be referring to their properties and stuff, but without actually flat out saying the name. Besides, if you guys are curious, you can just do a Google search and look it up anyway.
Just type in Switch; it'll do the rest.
Yeah, but so anyway, the Switch is actually pretty cool. It comes with 2 Joy-Con controllers, which is it's actually a really intuitive way of playing a game.
Intuitive? What are you, Albert Einstein, using all these big words? These people aren't gonna understand what you're saying. You're using big words. Get them down for them.
But it's actually a well, both. This is like this is the first not the first. This is actually the second gaming console that I've actually gotten. The first one that I had was a GameCube.
He's very poor.
The GameCube. The main reason why I wasn't able to buy the Wii or anything like that was because
he's very poor.
Well, my parents have a Wii, but they just don't use it. And the reason why I didn't really get any other consoles from any other publishers or companies was because of the fact that I had school to deal with and stuff.
And they're very, very, very expensive.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, look at we're not scared of getting sued by any other publishers, but look at
Because we know they won't do it.
Yeah, but look at Sony and look at Microsoft, for instance.
Yeah, with like
for instance, like the PS4
and the Xbox.
Like the PS4 is like, well, since we're here,
lot.
let me Wait, can you guys even see my display? I don't think you
I
can.
don't know. Can they?
Okay, I guess not. But which sucks. But let me just tell you guys what we come up with. Okay, so let me see. PS4. Not the PS4 Pro. Okay, so the according to Google, the cheapest price that you can get it at, and this was 4 years ago, it's $399. 4 years ago, the PS4 price was the more tempting deal, $399 for the console and DualShock 4 controller. Xbox One was expensive at $499. That's over $100 more than the PS4, which is insane.
There, it's like put him in a straitjacket and throw him in an insane asylum. And
yeah, but with that in mind, I was able to get this at a GameStop for like, I think it was like $250. I think it was like $250. It wasn't that bad. Although initially I was looking for a bundle, but they didn't have any available at the time, so I had to go to a Target and get the game there, which was okay.
I got mine with the bundle.
Yeah, it was an extra step. It was an extra hoop to go through, but I mean, it was worth it. It was worth it in the end.
He's a terrible acrobat.
So the Switch here, like I mentioned before, it comes with two Joy-Con controllers. Really fascinating way to play games. Actually, they're detachable, like so. They act kind of like Wiimotes, in a way. And according to the forums on the official website, they last unsynced with the console as in like when they unattached, they last for I believe 20 hours. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, really fascinating there. And also it also comes with an actual Pro controller peripheral here. The weird thing is, when I first saw this, I thought it was an Xbox controller. It
kind of does look.
It kind of looks like
together. It does.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, I can play the games like this easily, but for me personally, I prefer playing it with the peripheral, even if I'm like.
I told you can't be using all these big words. Gotta dumb it down for these people.
They're smart. They can Google it if they don't know what it means. But
Okay. When you're getting an angry mob screaming nerd kicking down your door,
who am I, Gohan?
Maybe. Except you don't have a cool dad that teach you kung fu. You're not half sane and you're not married to a hot chick and who has a rich dad.
Oh, that is true. Vidalla's pretty hot.
And you don't have an adorable baby daughter.
That's true. But but anyway, getting back on the point. So my thoughts on the Switch are actually, it's a pretty intuitive console actually, because it has aside from the Joy-Cons, the it also has obviously, since it looks like a tablet, it does have some touchscreen capabilities, but although the only gripe that I have with the design is the fact that I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to extend it here. It has a kickstand. The only gripe that I have is that there's not two, because there's plenty of room on the other side for another one. It doesn't ruin the thing, but I mean, it does make it kind of cumbersome when you want to just set it up on your desk or something like that and play it with the peripheral.
You and these big words.
But yeah, so I'm gonna turn it over to this guy now, and he can tell you his thoughts on the console.
Okay, for all you people who don't want to be confused
while I try to figure out this display problem.
Well, I'm gonna not confuse you all you people with like dictionary words like Mr. Einstein over here.
Okay, let me see.
Figuring out electricity and stuff, like how gravity works.
Display capture, game capture.
I bet you he watches documentaries for a living.
Video capture,
in his
window
spare time.
capture.
I'm gonna give you all his address, his home address, in the link below, so you know who to come beat up. Okay, my thoughts on the Switch is it can be both a home console and on the go console when you want it to, and you can also get like what he said with the detachable Pro controllers. You can get more of those, and you also buy a separate charger to charge them if you have more than just two, and you can use those to play with a friend. And you can get customizable switches. Like you can get a Zelda print one, a Mario print one, some other one, Metroid, I think. I don't know.
There was
I don't know if they have a Metroid. And the game I'm playing currently on my Switch is Sonic Forces. Sega, you're doing it right. You're finally bringing Sonic back with it, and Sonic Mania. I don't have Sonic Mania, but
I've heard I've heard it. I've heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay of it. It's awesome. And yeah, doing it right. Sega, you're doing it right. Okay, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Sonic Forces it's a pretty good game. You guys should check it out. And if you get it, you get this little controller sticker you can put on your controller to make it look better. I have the case with me. I just don't feel like bringing it out right now. Pretty sure when you get the game, you can look at it yourself. But yeah.
The thing is also, speaking of cases, I don't know if I know that they sell them at like Target and stuff, but
Hold on. This is what the Breath of the Wild case looks like. See that slick design? Not too big, not too small. No.
Just it's pretty much the exact right size that they would need to be honest.
Yeah, because usually game cases are like
they're usually massive.
Like Xbox game, PS4.
Like at least double that size.
Yeah, or Wii U cases. They're like double the size. This is more sleeker, more skinnier, and the game cartridges are way smaller. They're like about
it's about the size of an SD card.
Yeah,
for your phone.
And they make sure to make them not taste good, so your kids won't think it's food and eat it. They're like, what's this thing to taste test? And it tastes nasty, and probably like just throw it in the garbage and fish it out there. Or they might not drop it in the toilet. You gotta keep an eye on your kids.
Yeah.
Something parents don't seem to do today. Anyway.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's become a less common
I don't know.
Thing.
I know parenting's going out the window, but
yeah.
Yeah, and these take
That's
up
a whole different kettle of beans.
These cases take up a lot less space, so you can stack these anywhere and still have space to put anything else you want, like maybe your books or your collectible figures or pictures of your family, anything. Stack these like in a bookshelf, still put your books in there, depending on how big the book is. And yeah, that's what I like about the Switch cases in the games. My little drawback is the Switch itself, the screen part.
That's behind you.
Yeah. This is the screen part itself, not besides the removable controls. The screen part itself. If it's not on the charger, the life battery kind of goes a little quick.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, to be honest. Like,
yeah, the battery life isn't all that strong on the screen part, so.
Although at the same time, another thing that I've actually noticed is that the battery actually charges really quickly too.
Yeah,
it both drains and it charges quickly.
Yeah, it kind of loses power quickly and charges quickly. So, but if you're want to like just sit down in your comfy chair and kick back and just play controller style, like just hook it up to your controller adapter, and you can just plug it into the little charging stand while it's plugging TV, so it stays charged and you can keep playing for like hours if you want to. But if you want to be on the go, make sure it's fully charged so you can take it with you. Like, okay, let's have a good time playing. Or when you want to play with your friends, and they don't have and can't hook it to their TV, you can just like put up the kickstand, sit down, make sure it's charged up, and start gaming.
Yeah, like because to be completely honest, I actually have yet to connect it to my TV, mostly because I'm not really. I mean, because I know how to connect it. The thing is, I can't really find the time to actually do the connecting bit.
I mean, connecting bits doesn't take that long.
Well, I know that. The problem with that is that I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I could do it in the future. I might do. I'll probably do it in the future. But like right now, I just prefer to play. I just play it like normally.
Yeah, and you can the charger part and the part that you plug into your TV can be removed from the little kickstand, the holding part when you normally plug into your TV. You can actually take that out and like you just want to like lay on your bed and play it and just take the charger part, plug it in, and just game for hours if you want to. If you don't mind losing sleep.
Yeah.
Probably
Which speaking of it's funny that you brought up Breath of the Wild. I stayed up until like.
Really, but okay. No, go on.
Well, no, but you mentioned like
I know.
in the name.
I know,
But it's funny because I mean, that game is so addicting.
I know.
It's so addicting. I stayed up until like I don't know. It was like I think it was like 1 or 2. Just grinding in the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to grind a lot in that game.
Like it was
get supplies, find shrines. There are a buttload of shrines, and they are hard as balls to get to.
It was it's possibly the best. It's possibly the best Zelda game that I've ever played.
You might want to be careful when you say that. Ocarina of Time fans may be watching this.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I haven't played Ocarina.
Oh, you're a dead man.
I mean, because to be completely honest, guys, for any of you guys who don't know,
they're getting their pitchforks, torches ready.
The only other Zelda game that I've played, aside from emulation, on a friend's computer, was Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I completed that game 100%, and I had a blast doing it. But
the only other Zelda games I played were Ocarina of Time 3D. Oh, so unlike you, I'm safe.
Mm-hmm.
And Majora's Mask 3D.
I heard that Majora's Mask was that it's arguably even better than Ocarina.
Oh yeah, they're really come for your ass. Right
I don't
now.
know whether or not I agree with that though, considering the fact that I haven't played it.
I enjoy both of them equally. I don't say one is better than the other, but
Well, I mean, unless you want to count Hyrule Warriors 2 as a Zelda game, although it really doesn't count as a Zelda game.
Well, it's not Hyrule Warriors 2, it's Hyrule Warriors Legends, but that's not part of the main series. That's just a spin-off.
Yeah, but
it's non-canon. It's not an anime, but it's also non-canon. So
yeah, but so getting back to what was talking about Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Getting back to that, I mean, it's quite. It reminds me a lot of games like Skyrim and what was it? Fallout, stuff like that.
What about Stand In? I heard that was a spin-off of Fallout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stand In is where you play as the main guy or girl, whatever. I don't know how it works. I never played it, but Stand In is like where you play before the whole nuking starts, and you know.
Huh.
Yeah, you play as the person like living the life before everything went to shit, and
that's interesting.
Yeah, you like just going through playing the normal life, going to work, getting up in the morning, going to work, picking their kid up from school, and going to their stupid piano recitals or whatever it is that the game has you do, and
wow.
going home at night, eating dinner with your family, and probably boning your wife. I don't know. Yeah, but It got really bad reviews because people found it to be too boring, so that's why it was never like the beta testers agreed it was too boring, so they never released it. Fallout never got to see it. Stand In never got to see the light of day. That's why, because people like Fallout way better because you can actually do exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stand In. You never got a chance.
Yeah, but I mean. Okay, so he's actually had his Switch a lot longer than I have.
Yes, I have.
Because I've only had my Switch for like about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, and I have a lot more games on it than he does.
Breath of the Wild is actually the only game that I have for it. Currently, I'm gonna wait to get any future games until I get like until I get deeper into Breath of the Wild and until I have my fill of it.
Getting back to Hyrule Warriors. Nintendo actually, shit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Who cares? That company that certain red-hatted plumber works for actually released a game that was kind of like Hyrule Warriors in a way, called Fire Emblem Warriors. It kind of found
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I actually have it. It's very. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but it's very fun. You can play as a familiar cast of characters. You can play as Marth, Chrom. These are characters you don't know because you've never played Fire Emblem.
Well, I played Smash.
Yeah.
So I know them from there.
Yeah, but Chrom wasn't in Smash. He's part of. Robin's in there too. He's part. Chrom was part of Robin's Final Smash. Lucina, Corrin. Well, female Corrin. Who else? A bunch of other characters. Sadly, Roy and Ike aren't in it.
That's kind of strange.
I don't know. So far, I haven't seen them in it. You play as two new characters who come in. I'm currently playing as the male character Rowan, and I forget his sister's name. That'll come to me later. But it starts with an M. If anyone remembers her name or knows it, leave it out in the comments. But anyway,
or in the let me check the live chat to see if anyone's even joined. Nope, still nothing. Oh well.
Anyway, the premise is it kind of like follows like Hyrule Warriors. Each of the characters from their respective games, excluding Ike and Roy, don't know why they're not there, but
they might come in later as DLC.
Probably. You play as either Rowan or his sister, and you're the prince and princess of a kingdom. Name it's too difficult for me to remember. You have to find the chosen champions like Chrom, Lucina, all of them, recruit them, and they basically you have this item which is like the equivalent of the Infinity Gauntlet from.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Shield of Flames. It kind of looks like a shield version of the Infinity Gauntlet, and you get like I think it was like 4 or 5 of these like gem thingies that kind of like resemble the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't yet know what the Shield of Flames actually does or what it's meant for. Well, I actually know what it's meant for. I lied. I know what it does. It's supposed to seal away this dragon of chaos or chaos dragon or whatever the hell it's called. Before it goes and destroys everything, causing shit to go bad. And so your character has to like team up with all the main characters of each different Fire Emblem game. So it kind of follows the combat mechanics of Hyrule Warriors. Got your basic attack, got your heavy attacks, and got your combos. You have to go around defeating certain enemies, capturing keeps, and defeating certain bosses or keep leaders. Just kind of like Hyrule Warriors, except there's more dialogue, and your character that you play as can actually talk.
Huh.
Yes. Weird. You're allowed to speak. And you also can interact and talk with all the other characters. And usually in like Fire Emblem, when you have these little transition scenes where you're communicating, aside from cut scenes where you actually fully talk, they have these little text boxes, and usually there's no sound. You have to read it. Who likes to read? In Fire Emblem Warriors, they actually have auto speaking or auto text where they actually speak while it has the text box there.
Really?
So you don't have to bother reading. They can just say it to you. So right now I should be like on the 5th stage right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the character I so far ran into is Chrom and his gang, and Lucina and another person from her game. Right now, my characters, me and my group and them are trying to hunt down Marth. Apparently Marth is in the game because he's the legendary hero king. Sorry, Link, you're a hero. You're just not a hero king.
Yeah, there you go.
So sorry.
Well, potential hero Hero King because.
But well, he's never actually became a king.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Marth has. Sorry, he's got that one up on Link. Yeah, Link is Marth.
No matter, regardless of what fan fiction likes to tell you.
I know. Link has been the hero.
It's still fun to read though.
Hero of the waves, hero of Twilight,
hero of legend,
hero's legend, hero of Skyloft, hero of the skies, hero of the wild, I guess. In Breath of the Wild, I guess he's the hero of the wild.
Well, you would technically in Breath of the Wild wouldn't you technically call him the champion of the wild theoretically?
I mean,
because it's. I mean, there's that whole outfit. There's that whole champions outfit thing.
Okay, he's the hero He's the hero champion of the wild.
There you go. Yeah.
But Marth is the legendary hero king.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
got that legendary part in there. Link's just been the hero of something.
Mm-hmm.
Marth has been the hero king. So yeah, sorry, Link. Marth got that one up on you. And Marth can also talk, so he's got two. He's got two on you.
Sorry. Honestly, evidently he hasn't 100%ed Breath of the Wild yet. But
I've gotten farther than he has. I've got most of the shrines, some which I still need to get to due to special events, which take a buttload of time.
That was the reason why.
Ton of patience.
The reason why, well, aside from the fact that he's had to switch a lot longer than I have, is because of the fact that it's a literal open world Zelda game. It's one of the, I think it's like the first open world Zelda game since Twilight Princess.
I think
at least that's as far back as I can remember.
Yeah, but it's
it being open world.
Way massively open.
It's amazing. Like the map is gigantic. It's enormous.
I can tell you about some of the sites I've seen. I've seen plenty of amazing things. Let me tell you. But yeah, I've seen some very scary. I've actually been to this one island that's shrouded in darkness. You can't see nothing without a torch.
Really?
Yeah, completely. I actually stumbled upon it by accident. I was just wandering around doing nothing aimlessly. I came across it. I was like, maybe there's something good in there I can find. Mm-hmm. So good thing I had a torch with me and there was some fire, so I was going around. I actually ran into like a giant what is it called? A giant moblin or bogoblin, whatever the hell they're called. It was like a cyclops thing.
Oh yeah.
I fought it, killed it. Actually, I actually tricked his stupid ass into lighting himself on fire a couple times. It was hilarious. I shot him in the quickest way to beat him is to shoot him in the eye when he's not blocking it. And actually, he made him step in some fire and light him and burn himself.
Stupid.
Yeah, and after he died, I actually found a shrine there.
Oh really?
I forgot what I got in the shrine. It was probably another. No, I got a weapon in that shrine. Right now, I got. I think I have like 14 or 15 hearts, and I'm almost maxed out my stamina. I just need one more. And if you go in certain places, you can find mystical dragons, like the dragons of the 3 golden goddesses. I've seen 2 of them so far. The one of Neru and the one of Din. I think Neru was the green one. I'm not pretty sure. No. It was Din, Neru,
and no, not Hylia.
No, Hylia was Zelda.
Nebru?
I think it was
Nebru?
Yeah, Neru, Din. Shit, what was the third one's name?
I don't want to look it up. I don't want to look it up because that'd be cheating.
Yeah. Well, I think Neru was the green one. I think Neru was the green one. I've seen Din and Neru. But they won't. If they won't attack you, they'll just go right past you. But their bodies will send off some. Din's dragon, it'll heat up the air, making air. If you have your well, by the time you see it, you'll most likely have the hang glider. If you jump and pop out the hang glider, you'll soar way up because it's heating up the air, making air push upwards. Neru's.
That's actually some really nice attention to detail.
Yeah, I mean,
on the developer's part.
Beautiful. The detail and design is flawless.
Like, cause I don't understand what people are saying because so a lot of people are saying that, okay, even before the Switch came out, a lot of people were saying that it was going to fail because of the specs of it and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the specs, and I'm like, guys, just give it a shot. Give it a chance.
I give it a chance. It's amazing.
Because here's the thing, like, the teaser, that teaser trailer alone for the game set me on fire for it. It was amazing.
Me too. It set me on fire for it too.
Oh,
going back to the dragons, if you shoot them with the arrow, they won't attack you. You'll get a piece of their scale, and you can either cook and eat it, which would be a total waste. But there's this one shrine in front of in this fountain in front of a statue of Hylia, however you pronounce it, both. Either way, it's correct. That's where you find one of Link's memories. Also, if you put one of the scales in the water, it'll trigger an event that will show you where a hidden shrine is, and you'll get a cool weapon or pieces or a suit. I forgot what I got out of that. Yeah. What I don't like about Breath of the Wild is only one thing. Are the Guardians. The
Guardians are too overpowered. They're too OP early on.
Pain in the ass.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Eventually you can get I prefer to take them down to take them out with bomb arrows, and eventually you do come across a few shops that actually sell them outright.
And you also can get them off of enemies who have bomb arrows, or you can find them randomly scattered around Hyrule.
Yeah, and
speaking of the landscape of Hyrule, you can find some key locations that will resemble some key locations in other previous Zelda installments, like the courtyard and the Hyrule Castle from Twilight Princess, the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time, Lon Lon Ranch, Death Mountain, obviously.
A lot of other stuff, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of other things I can't really think of right now, but yeah. And speaking of all the races, apparently Deku Scrubs don't exist in there.
They don't?
No.
That's weird.
Koroks do. The Kokiri surprisingly aren't there either. I don't get it, but What kind of throws me off is that, well, the Gorons are there too, but what throws me off is the Zora and the Rito are there. Cause in Wind Waker, the Rito evolved from the Zora.
The Wind Waker was a Zelda game that I really wanted to play, but I could never track it down. When I had my GameCube.
What was the kind of stupid thing about Wind Waker was, why would you turn the Zora, fish people who basically thrive in water,
yeah,
turn into bird people when the Great Flood happened? They would have thrived in that game. They would be everywhere.
Matthew Matosis actually made a really good point on that in his Wind Waker review. He basically put it best like this. It was he said something along the lines of, why in a world full of water are the Zora not thriving? Instead, they've evolved into birds that probably wouldn't do so well in water.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would
pretty much drown.
Yeah, they would basically die out.
They would most likely drown.
I mean, if they're not flying, they would drown.
A
race of fish people in a Hyrule mainly composed of water would be perfect. That would be perfect for them. Why would they evolve into birds? That's completely stupid. They should have just stayed as fish people in that game.
But yeah, guys, as far as Breath of the Wild goes, I mean, granted, the only other Zelda game that I played is Twilight Princess. I'd say it's, in terms of scope, it's like leaps and bounds above Twilight Princess in my book. I'd say from, if I were to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 9. The only reason why I'm taking a point off for my rating of it is because of the fact that, well, again, the Guardians are a little too OP early on,
Yeah, but
Now, granted,
if you have enough of their pieces and enough rupees, you can go to this machine in one of the towns you visit. Forget which one.
Patino.
I think so. You could visit one of the Sheikah scientists, not the woman, well, little old woman turned to a little girl, but one of her colleagues, the old man. He'll have a machine that will dispense guardian like weapons, like arrows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, arrows, bows, shields. You also can get guardian armor that will reduce damage inflicted by a guardian.
And also the other reason why is because apparently you don't start out with the Master Sword. You don't start with the Master Sword. And I've heard
a lot
that.
of Zelda games you don't start out with.
Well, yeah, but the process of getting it, I've heard, is a pain in the butt.
It is. It took me a while to get it the first time. Because you have to go through like a maze, like for They would emphasize the lost in Lost Woods.
Really?
Yes, because it'll take you a while because you have to go in a certain path to get to the Great Deku Tree to get the sword. It took me a while to figure out what that was because I kept going in different directions and I kept getting teleported back to the beginning. So until I figured out those...
Are there any enemies though?
No, not really.
You'd think that there would be, considering the fact that, well, it's the sword that can vanquish Ganon.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the enemies themselves would get lost too and never find it.
They could just appear in front of the sword.
No.
Like when you... Like when you get out of the maze, you're like, yeah, I'm home free, and then all of a sudden you're ambushed by like a group of monsters.
Yeah, well, I mean, they most likely could follow you to get to the sword.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make much sense for them to already be there. Because they would most likely get lost too, and they probably won't be able to touch the sword without getting just
considering the fact that it is called the Sword of Evil's Bane in other games.
But here's the kicker: in previous Zelda games like Twilight Princess or Wind Waker or Ocarina of Time or Link Between Worlds or Link to the Past, you can just pull the Master Sword out or Skyward Sword, just pull it out and like, well, alright, I got this sword that can kick Ganon's ass. In Breath of the Wild, you need a certain amount of hearts, like 13, to pull it out, because if you don't have enough, you won't be able to pull it out. And you'll most likely die.
Yeah.
Because the sword is basically seeing if you're still worthy enough to wield it like Link did 100 years before the Calamity.
Okay, pardon me for this pun, but they're kind of making the Master Sword Link's Mjolnir.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
For any of you guys who don't understand,
is he, Thor now? He's got a thunder now. Well, kind of.
To prove worth. To prove his worth.
And another kind of funny bit, bringing Thor into that and the whole lightning thing. When you defeat one of the divine beasts in the Gerudo Valley, you actually one of the ancient champions, Urbosa, gives you an ability to summon lightning, thunder. You just have to charge up your attack, and it will automatically electrocute any enemy in the surrounding area. It works better when it's raining and the ground's very wet. It has more effect because they'll be on the ground and it'll do more damage.
No, speaking of which, a lot of people like Angry Joe, well, not Angry Joe. I think it was the completionist actually. Actually, I was watching his review of it, and he gave the game a He didn't really give it a numbered rating because the way the completionist score, the way that he does his scores is, it goes from complete it to finish it to play it to look at it, and then I believe his most recent one was donate. He gave it a finish it rating, which would technically again, it's subjective, but I'm willing to bet that that out of 10, he probably gave it a 6 or a 7. The main reason why he criticized it so much was because of the rain mechanic, because the rain mechanic is something that people will have to get used to. Will really have to get used to because the physics are outstanding, because let's say you're climbing a mountain, then all of a sudden it rains, in other games like Skyrim or something like that. Granted, Skyrim doesn't let you flat out climb a mountain. You have to jump around on it a whole bunch of times. The only way you can actually climb it is if you're riding a horse. But
yeah, which kind of makes no sense.
But... yeah, which really makes no sense. But let's say, for example, in a game like Skyrim, they actually let you climb a mountain. If it were raining on that mountain, the rain wouldn't affect you. You would just keep going up the mountain at a normal pace. In Breath of the Wild, if you're
if it starts to rain and you're climbing on, you'll immediately start to slip and fall.
Yeah, and that's another great example of that attention to detail that the developers had completely nailed with the game. I had another topic. I had another idea. But let me see how long the stream's been going for. I think it's loading. It's about 40 minutes. We got a little bit of time. It's funny that you mentioned the Infinity Gauntlet, because something else that I wanted to do. Now that Ragnarok's out, now that Thor Ragnarok is out, and that is evidently the Black Panther, I know for a fact, leads directly into Ragnarok, because I've been looking up details of it on it. Can't wait to see it in theaters. Also, I haven't gotten a chance to see Ragnarok yet. But if one thing that I wanted to do is, because I've seen it a lot around YouTube lately, as soon as that Infinity War trailer dropped and at San Diego Comic-Con, the leaked one, people were talking about who they thought was gonna die, or something even more intriguing that he brought up: who survives?
Yeah, it's a good question to see who's gonna die in the movie, but a better question is who's going to survive it. Because the chances of fighting Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, with all the Infinity Stones in the Gauntlet's full power, chances of surviving are basically 0 to 0.
Because the
better question is who's most likely to survive it.
Because the thing is, as far as people, because I'm not gonna say who I think will die. I mean, I'll tell you guys who I think would survive and how. But I mean, the... Ah, crap, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot. But as far as I've seen people give lists and stuff. But okay, for those of you guys who are new to Marvel, Thanos is basically this godlike figure, and the Infinity Gauntlet basically gives him. It basically makes him God. It basically makes him into a god.
Yeah.
And
in the comic, they said he's from a planet called Titan, and some of the Celestials constantly refer to him as a Titan. So Eren Yeager, what the fuck you at? And should be fighting him. You know, I don't know, go Titan, fight his ass.
And
even though I won't do shit to him.
But like I've seen a lot of people again give their thoughts on who they think will die, but it's even more intriguing again to ask who you think would survive, because if you think about it, okay, going up against Thanos with the gauntlet, you're basically going up against a... No, you're not basically. You're practically going up against God himself.
Except this God isn't loving or merciful.
And
he's cruel and ruthless.
Yeah, but
and purple.
I think I don't. But if you had to ask me who I thought would die, in Infinity War, I don't see anyone actually dying until Part 2. Because keep in mind, there is Part 1 and then Part 2, each of which come out a year apart. So Part 1 comes out in May, I think, in May of next year. And then Part 2 releases May of the following year, I think. So there's going to be a lot. So if no one dies in Part 1, there's going to be a lot of discussion about who will die in Part 2. My thoughts though would have to be that if they stick to the comic storyline, they could potentially have Doctor Strange do what he did in the comic when like they all died off and he used the I think he used the Time Stone, was it, to bring them all back?
No, Thanos had the Time Stone on the gauntlet. He used it basically. Well, in the comics, he doesn't have any Infinity Stones. It's just his pure magic itself. He used it to resurrect those who had fallen in battle and come, whoop on Thanos. Well, at that time, Thanos had lost the Infinity Gauntlet to Nebula. They might have Nebula step in, because in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, she wanted to get revenge on Thanos, so she might actually, if Thanos makes the stupid mistake of shedding his body to become eternity, instead of taking his body and putting it somewhere no one can get to it because it's still has the gauntlet on him, Nebula could snatch right off him, put it on herself, give herself all that power, and reduce him back to nothing the way he was, and then they'll have to all work. And if Adam Warlock is there, which he most likely will, because he was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
So he could come in and take the gauntlet and put it on himself and use it to revert everything back to the way it was, wipe everyone's minds of what happened, make it like it never happened, even though it can be like a middle finger to all the audience.
Although the there's
because in the comic, no one remembered what happened.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And the only people who actually did remember was him, the two people he had with him, and Thanos,
as well as the readers. But
and if they go that route, at the end of part 2, Thanos might become a farmer.
Although one thing that he and I both agree on, part 2 has to okay. Oh my gosh! This is just the two of us personally, but part 2 has to end with a version of the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon theme song, because it's so freaking cool. It's so freaking cool. Any of you guys who have seen the cartoon, you know what we're talking about. It's glorious. It's amazing. For any of you guys who don't know, look up Fight as One by Bad City. You will not regret it. It's really good, especially if you're a Marvel fan. But as far as who I think would die, that's a really tricky one, because there are so many different angles that you can approach this fight from. Because it's is it going to take place in space? Is it going to take place on Earth?
It will most likely take place in space, because Earth suffered enough collateral damage as it is.
That's true.
But you know who? I want them to bring in the most powerful character in all of the Marvel multiverse.
Who?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee!
He'll take Thanos down, no problem. He'll come at the final moments and the big climax at the end of part 2, just go all divine being on Thanos.
Well, yeah, because apparently Stan Lee is a watcher.
No, he's more than a watcher. There's this one comic, I forget what it's called, where he's this divine being that controls. He's higher on the scale, higher than eternity, and people have theorized that the Stan Lee that's been appearing in all the Marvel movies is that same character.
That's interesting. I'm just wondering what the heck Stan Lee himself thinks of all this, because of all these rumors and stuff. Because it's
he probably no.
Stuff, but it's
he's probably Excelsior.
Excelsior. Oh man, people are saying that they're getting pissed off and that they're getting tired of the Stan Lee cameos, but I'm like,
hey, without Stan Lee, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
have
without
Marvel.
Stan Lee, we wouldn't have Marvel as a whole.
Yeah.
But and plus he's practically the man that everyone just was their grandpa.
I know.
Free comics.
I know. I wish he was my grandpa.
but yeah, but the reason why I asked, the reason why I said it matters where the fight takes place is because if it takes place in space, then there are certain people that wouldn't be able to fight, like Captain America, possibly Black Panther, Black
I don't
Widow,
get why-
Hawkeye, Iron Man.
I
Iron
don't
Man
get
and
why
Hulk would
Black-
probably be okay.
Well, Hawkeye, he was one of the people who was killed off early on before the fighting took place. He was one of the people who got caught up in all the disappearing people. He was one of them. He was completely wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain America couldn't. He saw him, and I forgot the other characters that was with him. This one female hero, I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
Cap tried to save them, but they completely vanished before he can do anything. Well, there's really nothing he could have done, but and Black Widow, she was in the comic, but I don't really remember what happened to her. She wasn't during the fight. I mean, she might be there in the movie, and so Hawkeye. Black Panther was not mentioned at all throughout the entire comic, but we know he's gonna be in the movie. You can't have the Avengers without T'Challa.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. In the comics, Black Panther will not do anything unless it threatens Wakanda itself. If it doesn't threaten Wakanda,
in Infinity War,
then
everything is affected. I'm pretty sure
that's true. That's true.
Wakanda, so yeah, he's gonna have to fight.
That's true. The thing is, okay. The one final thought before we sign off here. What if this is actually something that Comic Historian brought up. What if something fascinating. Okay, so let's say for example the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he's killed in part 1. In part 1 to show off Thanos' power, and then oh, actually wait, no, not the Hulk. Let's say that okay, so you remember how in Civil War Tony and Steve were fighting on different sides, like freedom versus security?
Yeah.
What if okay, so let's say that hypothetically Captain America is able to fight Thanos in space. Let's say he's able to fight Thanos in space, or it could take place on a far off planet. It could happen on a far off planet other than Earth.
Yeah.
So let's just say that Captain America is facing Thanos, right? And
Thanos
in the comic,
and Thanos breaks his shield like he did in the comic.
And
by bitch slap.
And also like in the comic, okay, let's say that. Okay. I'm not saying that the movie has to be exactly like the comic because they've proven that they can differ from the comic and still have it be amazing. While maintaining the core principles of the comic itself and the characters. But so let's say that sort of like in the comic, Captain America is, because in the comic everyone's wiped out already, and Captain America is the last man standing. But let's say that no one else has started fighting yet because they've seen Thanos' power. And let's say that okay, Steve basically says he says something along the lines of, yeah, but that's what the U.S. thought they were in World War II with Hitler, and look what happened. We ended up beating him. We beat him by coming together as one. Avengers assemble. We'll take this guy out. Because Captain America is the rallying point. He's the core of the main Marvel universe itself. So let's just say that he keeps coming on Thanos. Thanos keeps knocking him away, and Captain America basically said, Thanos basically yells at him to stand down because it's worthless.
Yeah, admit defeat.
And Captain America, of course, being the awesome guy that he is,
the patriot that he is,
he's like, but I
refuse to surrender.
I will never surrender to, pardon my language, I will never surrender to scum like you.
Yeah,
to villainous scum like you.
I fought tyrants my entire life, so I won't stand down to a tyrant like you.
But a big twist that I could see, harkening back to Civil War again, is okay. So let's just say that Thanos is he's cute, comes in for the kill, just before he's able to hit Steve. Iron Man swoops and then takes the hit, and it kills him.
Yeah, that was stirred Captain America to really take Thanos out. you just murdered one of my closest allies. Yeah, we butt heads and we fought. Yeah, we may not see eye to eye at times, and we sometimes get into disputes, but he was still my comrade. He was still my companion. He was still my friend, and you just killed him. He sacrificed his life for mine. That's what a real friend, a teammate would do. So now I must avenge
my fallen friend.
him.
Nice.
Because that's what Avengers do. They avenge. So I won't let his death be in vain. He'll take on Thanos like man to man.
I mean, not only would that be a huge harkening back to Civil War, and it would honestly be, it would obviously be a major step in Tony's character to like sacrifice himself for someone else. Well, technically, the Avengers films that have done that, like in the first one when he took the missile up into the Chitauri portal.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would just be, it wouldn't be crushing, but it would be really moving because Iron Man was the one that started the MCU. He didn't start Marvel, but he still started the main Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
So to see him die would just be crushing. In terms of the MCU itself. Although one thing that it would also be an interesting parallel to oh man, I can't remember the name of the story. It was a Civil War aftermath story, and the confession, where Tony is basically where Tony is okay. So for any of you guys who don't know, at the end of Civil War, Captain America dies. At the end of Civil War, Captain America is killed by some convoluted events. Mind control. Sharon Carter kills him. Kills him while she's being controlled by this I think it was by Red Skull, but the confession was basically a story where Tony is basically pouring his guts out to Steve because he's basically sitting in front of Steve's body and he's just, like I said, he's pouring his guts out to him because he's like, look, Civil War, we don't see eye to eye. We don't see, we're never going to see eye to eye, or we were never going to see eye to eye. But if I'd known that Civil War would have resulted in your death, I would never have done it. I would have found another way. Because Captain America, like I said before, he's more than just a person. He's a symbol.
Yeah.
He's a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of freedom. And by killing him off in the Civil War comic, they basically, I mean, I wouldn't say in Marvel itself, but the villains basically destroyed that symbol of freedom. Basically what I'm trying to say is the symbol of freedom died with Steve Rogers in that story.
Yeah, but then that symbol was reborn and passed on to Falcon.
Yeah, to Sam Wilson, to Bucky, I think. Bucky, I think, also
also took up the mantle.
Took up the mantle at one point.
Yeah, it took up the mantle of Captain America. Then passed it to Falcon, who took up the mantle and became the next Captain America.
Anyway, guys, let us know who you think is going to die in Infinity War, but more importantly, who you think will survive in Infinity War.
And how do you think it's gonna start? Because in the comic, it all started because Thanos wanted to get inside Death's pants.
That's kind of creepy.
He wanted to bone Death. Hey, Deadpool tries to.
Well, yeah, but that's different. Deadpool's psychotic.
Yeah, it's true. And plus, Lady Death actually likes him.
That's true. That's true. Chimichangas.
Throughout the entire Infinity Gauntlet comic, she does not utter one word.
That is true.
Not to Thanos, not to anyone else. Not a word. She doesn't speak at all. Because she doesn't want to speak to Thanos because he's a complete douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I guess he just didn't feel like talking. I mean, she probably would conversated with other people who weren't Thanos. If Deadpool were there, she'd be flirting with him. Like, hey, what's up, sexy? Like what you doing with that red and black outfit.
Speaking of how Infinity War starts, it's gonna be really fascinating to see how it starts, because Infinity War as far as the MCU goes, is a follow-up to Civil War. And so, Civil War, at the end of it, the team's in shambles. It's not together. No one's talking to each other. No one's talking to one another. So, what's going to make them come back together? Either... I think it's going to be Loki. Loki, I think, is going to be the de facto thing that brings them together, because Loki has basically been the, well, I forget if he was the main villain in Avengers 2. I know for a fact that he wasn't in 3.
Yeah, he wasn't the main villain in the first Avengers movie.
Like, Thor has, but like, in Thor Ragnarok, at least from the trailers in a way, it seems that Thor and Loki have come to an understanding, and that they're fighting together. But it would be
he
really...
is still the god of mischief. You don't know what he... At some point
that is true.
During Infinity War, he could backstab Thor and the rest of the Marvel heroes.
Well, yeah, but like, imagine this. So,
but if they bring Mephisto in there,
yeah, Mephisto
is basically...
he's basically the devil.
Yeah, so
in the Marvel universe,
you got the god of mischief Loki,
plus the devil
Mephisto,
plus Dormammu.
Plus, if they bring Dormammu
into it.
You got...
Well, I mean, they've already got Doctor Strange there.
Dormammu's not really deceitful. He's just flat out evil.
Yeah.
But if you got the god of mischief and the devil, you can have some evil tendencies and backstabbers, two backstabbers, going head to head to each other. See who can out trick who, or who can out betray who. Because Mephisto tried to, while everybody was like going at Thanos, he tries to take the Infinity Gauntlet off him, but ultimately failed. So Loki and him could probably get into a fight of their own. See who's the better manipulator, who's the better trickster, who's the better betrayer.
But yeah, guys.
But I feel like Thor would catch on to Loki's deceit. He's
usually on top of that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you got the first Thor film, but even then, that was like establishing the characters.
Yeah, and come Thor, Dark World. He kind of, him and Loki,
or even the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, he still the whole "you tricked me" thing still caught him off guard.
Yeah,
and he didn't realize Loki had faked his death in Dark World.
That is true. But yeah, guys. So let us know what your thoughts are on Infinity War in general, as well as the other topics that we talked about in this video, like the Switch, Breath of the Wild,
why Thanos wanted to bone Death so badly,
and but most curiously, who you guys think will survive in Infinity War, and more importantly to me though, at least in terms of discussion, how do you think it'll start?
Yeah,
because like I said before, that's a huge talking point.
Yeah, you can start in a number of ways. Thanos could just have already gotten the gauntlet and the stones, and just like feel like, no, I want to destroy Earth. It's been there too long. I want to destroy it.
It could Infinity War could also open with the prologue of like the Thanos quest storyline.
Yeah, it could start out like show Thanos acquiring the gauntlet, acquiring.
Where it's like the
also with him obtaining this Infinity Stones.
Where it's like the
It could also show him getting the Soul Stone from Doctor Strange, like just appear in front of him, knock him out, or like just grab him, like just rip it right out of the eye on his cloak, leave him and just throw him down, and just take off with it.
But yeah, guys. So regardless, him and I are both extremely hyped for this movie. We can barely contain the excitement. Well, I don't know about him. I want the trailer here very badly so I can do a reaction of it.
I want the movie to be out already.
Do it because they've already been out filming for part 1 already. And they started filming part 2 I think about a month ago.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not really Marvel Studios that has the final say on the release date itself. It's more Disney. that's more on the Disney side of things. Marvel has control over like the direction and stuff that the movies go in, but Disney ultimately has the final say in terms of the release date, at least to my knowledge. Anyway. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of Disney, before we go, there was one thing that I forgot to mention. A few days ago, there were rumors going around that Fox was in talks with Marvel, to get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into the MCU. And less than 19 hours after that deal was announced, Fox pulled out of the partnership.
Yep.
I'm like, huge missed opportunity. Enormous missed opportunity, Fox.
Well, if it's Fox, the Fantastic Four are already dead.
Well, yeah, but
it's
not just a missed opportunity for the
X-Men had a fighting chance, but Fantastic Four died long ago.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw an interview with Hugh Jackman, actually, the guy that plays Wolverine, or played Wolverine, I should say, until Logan, and he wasn't asked about the deal per se, but he said that if now keep in mind this is before Logan came out, but in the interview he basically said, okay, if Marvel does acquire the rights to use the X-Men in movie form, sign me up for whatever movie they have planned. I think this was either after Civil War came out, or it was something. It was a while ago. But so that shows that he loves playing the character. He still loves playing the character, and it's a huge missed opportunity for Fox to deny him that chance. Because I don't know about you, but if it were me but if it were me, that would be crushing. That'd be crushing to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've been dreaming of it. Because like, evidently, well, the way he talks about it, he's been dreaming about it practically ever since he got the role. And now for him to do it for 17 years and then all of a sudden to be denied that chance, that must have just been a crushing experience for him. Anyway, guys, we're pretty much done rambling. So, let's hear your thoughts in the comments section again on Infinity War, the Switch, Breath of the Wild, all that fun stuff. Link to my Twitter will be in the description box below. If you guys wanna talk, and yeah. Also, hashtag Marvel fanboys. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye bye.